All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the very first session of this year's semester break program, Cycle 2. And thank you for tuning in this early on a Monday morning. Have you guys had your breakfast? I hope you have your breakfast. Hello. Hello, Rifhan. Hello, everybody. Well, hello, Tong En. Yeah, I hope you have your breakfast. It is quite an energetic morning, right? Now we shall start, okay? We will first of all, would like to express our gratitude to all of you guys and of course to our wonderful distinguished speakers for agreeing to speak at our event. Well, truly this event wouldn't have happened without you. My name is Chin Ki Hua and I'm from Malaysian Students Association in Heilongjiang, China, and I'll be your MCs for today. First of all, allow me to first introduce Talent Corp and the theme of this event. Basically, Talent Corp is a national agency that drives Malaysia talent strategy towards becoming a more dynamic talent hub. And our initiatives are tailored for professionals, students, employer, and industry and academia partners. Well, one of these initiatives is the Semester Break Program, which is known as SBP and which are attending today. The SBP aims to introduce students to Malaysia's key economic sectors through meet and learn sessions with corporate leaders and industry experts. The program runs twice a year and it is totally free for graduates and students to attend. Now today, with the concept of call to action, the ultimate guide for future graduates, the second cycle of the SBP this year will look at tips for graduates stepping into the employment market with new opportunities available for them, especially during these challenging times. Now, SBP will take place over 8 sessions, tackling 3 themes and 1 workshop, which is on day 1, we'll have career insights. Day 2, prepare for the future. Day 3, emotional health and well-being. And lastly, day 4 is a workshop, build your career workshop. All right, now I would like to introduce our Group Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Thomas Matthew, for his opening address. Let's welcome him.
Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas Matthew, Group CEO of Talent Corp. Good morning to those of you who are joining us from Malaysia, and a warm welcome to those who are attending from abroad. We have a great lineup of topics and speakers for Cycle 2 of the Semester Break Program, and I'm sure many of you are looking forward to the sessions. As such, I'll do my best to keep this short. I'm pleased to share that our past SBP cycles had successfully garnered over 900 participants with 9,000 views on our digital platform and social media channels since going virtual. Although it would have been ideal to have all of you physically present with us today, I must say that in changing times, the only way forward is adaptability. By organizing SBP virtually, we're now accessible to more students and fresh graduates, be it at home or abroad. Building on the success of our previous SBP held earlier this year, Cycle 2 of the program themed Call to Action, the ultimate guide for future graduates, will bring to you real-time insights and knowledge from industry experts needed for the future of work. For this cycle of the SBP, our team has curated webinars and forums to benefit our participants, and I hope that you will gain as many insights as possible from our collaborators who will be sharing their knowledge on these subjects. 1, preparing for professional life. 2, enhancing overall well-being. And thirdly, social organizations. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our expert speakers for taking the time to join us in this SBP, and I look forward to your sharing. To our youths, to say that the past year has been difficult will be an understatement. Like you, I myself have had to adapt to rapid and significant changes, be it in my personal or my professional life. We are now in unprecedented times with constant shifts in the job market and economy. But like all challenges, we have an opportunity to act on it by looking forward to the silver lining. Our current circumstances are unpredictable, but I believe having the right mindset, being resilient and adaptable will allow us to overcome our setbacks and move forward. With that, I urge all of you to make full use of this program throughout the 4 days. This is the time to build your network, ask questions, and explore opportunities that are available for you. Most importantly, always stay hungry to acquire new skills and knowledge. On that note, I wish you all the best in your journey ahead. Stay safe and take care. I will now pass the floor back to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for your warm welcome. And I am sure all of you are super excited to start, right? If you are excited, please type excited in the Zoom comment box, okay? To show me your excitement, all right? Type excited. Yes, excited, man. Now, before we start our very first live session for today, titled How to Be in Demand, Insights You Should Know, allow me to just run through with you some housekeeping rules. Okay, the session will be for an hour, divided into 2 parts, which is a presentation and a Q&A session at the last 15 minutes. Well, for Q&A, you may ask your questions throughout the whole session by typing them out in the Zoom comment box, okay? But this is only for our Zoom registered participants. So if you are currently tuning in through Facebook Live, you can still register now and join us through the link in the comment section. All right, join us in Zoom. Well, during the Q&A, I'll be assisting the speaker in choosing and reading out your questions. If you are not able to join the whole session, don't worry too, because they are all recorded and will be uploaded on both Talent Code Facebook pages. So do follow us on social media to get your updates. And finally, your feedback is extremely important to us. We really appreciate and we want to hear from you. So we would really appreciate if you could fill out the feedback form, which will pop up on your screen when you exit the Zoom call. All right, so I saw our speakers here. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first guest speaker, Mr. Brian Loom. Mr. Brian is the team lead of marketing at Hiredly, or formerly known as WOP. He has led numerous growth hacking projects and partnerships for multinational corporations like DG, Lazada, and Great Eastern, and some government-linked corporations such as Malaysia Digital Economic Corporations, or known as MDEC, and Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center, or known as MAGIC in short. He is also a youth career speaker for universities across Malaysia. So I'm sure we are getting a lot of insights from him today. In this session, Mr. Brian will share with us the overview of the employment market trend and market insights that we all should know. So Mr. Brian, you may have the floor now, and let's welcome him.
Thank you so much. You can hear me fine, right? Right, thank you so much for the introduction. Let me just give me a second to share my screen, yeah? All right, all looks good. Full screen, everything. How's everyone today? Right, so thank you so much for the introduction. As you already heard, my name is Brian. I actually am from a company called Hiredly, but you may have previously known us as WOP, instead, wopjobs.com. On the 1st of July, we have rebranded as Hiredly. So this is the color that you're gonna have to get used to now. This is the name you're gonna have to get used to now. And before I start, right, I want to let you know why am I a person that is that is kind of like good to share this kind of information with you. But I want to also let you know what Hirely does as well to establish some context here. So Hirely helps you make the right move at any point of your career. If you're new to job searching, Hirely provides you with an exclusive insight to employers to help you discover your ideal workplace. So you will see our what do you call it? Our website is kind of like this. We are all about helping you make sure you're making the right decision in giving you a window to look into a company on whether they suit you, whether they matches what you're looking for and your values as well, which I'll teach you a very methodical way to do so later, so you don't like regret joining a company, right? And as you progress in your career, or if you're a candidate that has pretty niche skills, for certain niche roles, right? We have a group of experienced headhunters from our Hirely X team that will match you to your next opportunity, right? So, while of course being a company in the recruitment business, in the job portal industry, we are very close to our employers, people in HR who are hiring candidates like you, right? And of course, we always constantly collect their feedback on how we can make the platform better, which means,
Mr. Brian,
yes,
sorry.
hi.
Sorry to interrupt you. We are looking at your presenter view. So
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for letting me know. I think I shared the wrong thing. Embarrassing, right? Almost 2 years and I still don't know how to use Zoom.
I'm starting to get excited and I really don't want to interrupt you. But so sorry.
No, thanks for letting me know. Let me sort this, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me share this. You're still seeing my presenter view, are you?
This is okay. This is
It's okay,
good.
right? This is the real full screen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm having two screens here, so I'm I think I didn't catch that. But thank you so much for letting me know, right? Yes, continuing on. Well, basically, like I was saying, we work with quite a number of HR people, and we talk to them. Okay, what do you look for in a candidate to basically develop our product to be more helpful to them, to help them screen a candidate faster. So today I'm going to be sharing with you what they tell us, and also generally, what is being practiced when an employer screens a candidate to see whether they are good for the job or not, right? So this is something that you have to drill in your mind. You only have 2 seconds to win an employer's attention. Yeah. Some would give it as generously as 6 seconds. But even 6 seconds also is quite short, lah, if you can agree with me on that fact, right? But the thing is, they only use 2 seconds to look at your CV, yeah, which basically consists of like how many years have you studied, especially like in university, right? It all boils down to that one piece of paper, and they just look at 2 seconds. It's kind of heartbreaking, right? Well, can't really blame them, because for every job that they host, you basically have stacks and stacks of CVs, and your CV is one of the many being submitted for that job position. So basically what that means is, when you apply for a job, you're usually like the last one in the queue, before you're even you even get viewed, lah, like being considered for the job, lah. And what's worse is, your CV may not even be seen at all, or read thoroughly at all, because some of you use something called applicant tracking system to sort candidates by relevant keywords, meaning that if you did not list like any necessary skill that they're looking for, or what do you call it, like certain keywords that they're looking for, your CV might be chucked out like that. I'm not trying to scare you, but I just want to let you know what is what actually happening without sugarcoating it, right? Even if they don't use that system, a lot of them use their eyes to screen, and I'll show you how to do it later. But uh, I just want to let you know on this fact first. I've seen a lot of people use image series, especially recently, because they try to make their CV look, more creative, more attractive, right? And then they do it in like Illustrator and such, and then they render it in, an image instead. Don't do that. It's usually not readable by the system at all, because if you cannot highlight the words in your CV, it usually means their applicant tracking system will not be able to read it. It's not computationally legible. So save it in PDF, whatever it is. Don't save it in PNG or whatever, and make sure you can highlight the words. Yeah. So now that that's out of the way, now look at this. Look at this through CV. Can I ask you which one is more eye-catching to you without even reading the content of it? The one on the right, right? Does it look unprofessional? Does it look like it's too, colorful and such? No, I think we all agree on this, right? Right is the one that is usually more, what do you call it? It looks more neat, but if you actually read into it, you can see the right one actually has even more information than the one on the left. It has other things like awards and achievements, certificates or whatever. But for some reason, the one on the left is visually cluttered. It's hard to read. I don't want to read that. Imagine someone from HR has to read like a stack and stack of that on the left, right? And that's usually a lot of generic CVs always look like that. So number one, don't make it visually cluttered. There are a lot of good formats out there besides Microsoft Words that can help you make something like the one on the right. I unfortunately I do not have the time to teach you how to organize this on the CV, but fear not. As far as I'm told, there is a program in this event that will be able to teach you how to do this nicely, right? But I want to point out the things that someone from HR sees. Okay, cool. Yep. So these are the places that you can use. Canva, Resume.io, Zeti, free page. Some of them are free. Some of them have a little bit of like a one-time pay option. Like I believe Resume.io is something like that. But personally, I use Canva and it's great. So even if you're using Microsoft Words, there's no excuse to make it look as boring as that, because there are available templates online. You can just Google Microsoft Word resume templates or CV templates, and you get something as neat as this. Not the nicest, but it's neat, especially if you're applying for a job in something more more traditional and formal, like accounting or legal, a legal firm or what, something like this is I think it's okay. But back to getting an employer's attention in 2 seconds, right? Visually is one thing. Humans are visual creatures. We are often attracted to items like the CV on the right, because they look a bit more better. They're less visually cluttered, right? But apart from visually, you have to know how to sell your professional self in 2 seconds as well. Let me ask you this question. When you decide to watch a movie, how do you pick, or a book? There's so many movies out there. There's so many books out there. How do you decide which one is? Yeah, I'm interested in that. You watch. Okay, yeah, rating is a very good thing, but I don't. Yeah. Title, trailer, reviews. Okay. Unfortunately, when it comes to your CV, there is no HR person is going to review a CV for the other person to see. So the next best thing is trailers, right? Trailers, or like the preview of the back of the book, telling you what is the premise. It's like, yes, book covers and such, so those are the things, especially movie trailers. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know what I'm talking about when I say usually trailers, they show the best part of the movie, to catch your attention, to go watch it in the cinemas or whatever, right? For you to buy the movie, basically, to watch it. And that's where I want you to think like that for your CV as well. Because when an employer screens a CV, when I see this here, although it is quite neatly organized, something that we all agreed upon just now, the one on the right is neatly organized, it's still a lot of information. So what employers usually read is your personal summary first, which is kind of like you want to bring the best parts of it, summarize at the very top, right? So this was a role where I was hiring for I think projects and events intern, if I'm not wrong, from the marketing team. And when I read this, final year public relations and event management student at this university, Taylor's world-class scholar, must be something good, right? I'm not familiar with that, but they are also a director of this ISAC club at Taylor's University, for example. So when I read this, without even looking at the CV, I'm interested in hiring this person because they have a bit of a relevant, like their study is a bit relevant to what I'm looking for. Looks like they hold some leadership positions as well. And they are a scholar as well. Okay, I'm interested. This candidate looks fine to the one I want to hire. Then I would just look at the relevant skills here. But the thing is, I'm already subconsciously saying yes to this candidate with just reading these 4 lines here, right? We're not going to go through a CV, but rest assured, I did shortlist this candidate, and they did come for an interview. Out of like the 300, 400 CVs that I had to screen through, and this part, a lot of people when they sign up for, it's not just exclusive to Hiredly, it's on LinkedIn as well. It's on whatever other job portal you use as well. A lot of people look over this part, short summary. They usually just think that this focus so much time on the CV, but there is one part that is so much more important than CV, and this is just the short summary. I see a lot of people write like, oh, I'm looking for a job, or very, very other generic terms that is overused, and I'll show you later. But for example, in this character that I am, or in this example that I am giving, this person is an Edwards Certified International Business graduate of Acme University, looking to secure a digital marketing internship position. And they have also served as the VP of the Student Council and acted as the marketing director for the university prop. Now, have we seen this person's CV or not? We have not, right? But have you got like a good sense of what this person is? Definitely, just by reading this. So that's why this is so powerful. And you shouldn't be wasting it on writing things that I see a lot of people do, such as what do you call it? I'm hardworking. I'm looking for a job, and those very common things that people usually write, because you have to differentiate yourself with other people. Like your friends who study in the same course as you with the same degree, right? Though they are your friends, when you go outside and find job, they are your competitors because they studied the same thing as you, but not one person, not every 2 person is the same thing. So you need to describe what makes you special. This is a formula that I'll teach you. It's very simple, nothing too scientific here, but it's so simple in describing you yourself well to catch an employer's attention, right? So you can say who you are, start off with who you are, say how your education will help you perform well for the role, any unique achievements. And then the second thing to include is your career objective. If what you write in point 1 is not relevant for the job, highlight the role or the industry that you're interested in applying for. And this is an example here. Don't overthink it about a sentence structure first. Just write it in point forms. Who are you? I'm a international business graduate for this university. Okay. I learned digital marketing through Google AdWords. I'm Google AdWords certified. I'm the vice president of the student council. I'm the marketing director of the university prom. And what I want to, my career objective is looking to secure a digital marketing position, internship position. Point 2 is especially important if, let's say, especially important right now, or to people who, let's say, you studied accounting and you want to venture into marketing, digital marketing and such, right? You need to state your career objective very, very clearly, such as this, looking to secure a digital marketing internship position. Because if not, the HR person will think, why is this person who studied accounting applied to my digital marketing job? You know, that's why it's very important to write a career objective to make sure that you are relevant to the job that they are looking for. And also remember, some companies use keywords to find relevant or not. Yes, it will come into play as well if you write this type of keywords most of the time, right? And of course, not only having a career objective is important to let them know that you are relevant, you also should take some courses to kind of show that you have genuine interest in trying this out. For example, you took on the Google AdWords certification, right? Even though you are a accounting student, for example, you want to venture into digital marketing, you did something about it, and I want to be a part of your company with this position. So I hope that's very clear. I'm sorry if I'm going a little bit too fast here. I usually like to be more interactive with you, but I'm quite pressed for time today. But I'm sure the other speakers throughout this event will cover all these things quite nicely. So I'm just giving you the overall high level stuff, right? To set the tone. So don't have overused terms such as hardworking, team player, detail oriented. No doubt you are. No doubt you are. But a lot of people also say that, even though they are not. If I look through 10 CVs, right, or 10 candidates application, I can almost guarantee you 6 of them say I'm hardworking, I'm a team player, I'm detail oriented, and those kind of words. Don't feel shame if you have written that in your CV or your personal summary. I do that a lot as well. Last time. But I'm letting you know that this kind of words are so overused, it has lost all meaning already. So what you should do instead is you should describe your experience without using this overused term. For example, if you join an extra co-curricular activity, you instead of saying like, oh, I have leadership qualities, you give an example in your experience down there that shows what makes you have leadership. You turn the team around, from very non-profitable clubs and organization. And I can't think of an example right now, but you need to describe it in a way where it shows that you have leadership. I rallied the team, I wrangled the team to host this event that turned our loss-making club into a profit-making club, throughout this project that we did, for example. So those kind of things show that you have leadership, instead of just writing that you have leadership. So one thing very, very nice about knowing your personal summary that you have already prepared just now, right? Remember the point form that I just showed you a couple of slides ago, is that those point forms can also be converted to a video cover letter. A lot of people freak out. What should I say in my video cover letter? Should I squeeze as much information as possible? No. Basically, what I taught you just now, the personal summary, is kind of like an elevator pitch. But because when you are writing it there, you cannot write things like, hi, nice to meet you, good morning, I am a international business graduate, or yada yada. You can't do that on the text, So some jobs, employers will ask for a video cover letter from you because they want to see how you carry yourself. And actually, I would argue that every job, even though you're doing like some back-end job, like a software developer or such, right? That you're not really client facing, I would say if you have a good personality, or if you really want to succeed in your career, you need to brush up your soft skill. Letting you guys know, I was a wreck when I first, when I was in university. I cannot give a presentation in front of a class. I'm like the person that literally goes blank, in front of the class, right? So you have to really force yourself to have this kind of unpleasant experience that really polishes you up to know how to speak publicly. I don't think I'm the best speaker, far from that, but I came so far from last time, and that's the reason why I am leading a team right now, because usually when someone is promoted on top of the hard skill, I give a very good example for a software developer, right? Let's say there are two software developers in this example. The one on the Mr. A here, or the person A here, is very good at actually software developing, coding and such. Person B here is okay, not as good as person A, but person B has very good soft skills. They know how to talk to people. They know how to present the ideas to other people in the team. They know how to talk to clients when needed, while person A doesn't. It is very likely, although person B's technical skill is lower than person's A, person's B will be the one that will be person's A's boss, because you need this kind of soft skill to lead the team, to talk to clients, to give presentations and such. So no excuse, just a little diversion, no excuse. If you're bad at it, you must find a way to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. And I think the best way is to start with a video cover letter. So like I said, a lot of employers now, they would want a video cover letter from you. And let's show an example on what I mean by video cover letter in just 30 seconds. I hope I have my audio shared. Yeah. I hope I have my audio shared. Yeah, I don't think I have. Let me just fix that quickly. Yeah, let me know if I'm showing my presenter's view again. I hope not.
Hi, my name is Samantha and I'm a psychology graduate from Monash University. Although I am a psychology graduate, my passion actually lies in the digital marketing sphere, and I am certified by Google in several digital marketing and search engine optimization courses. I also have some experience in running a small online business in modern calligraphy. I hope that with my background in psychology, artistic creativity, and newfound digital marketing skills, that I'll be a great addition to your company, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Right? You could hear that, right? So this person was a psychology graduate, wants to try digital marketing, and basically this is her elevator pitch in just 30 seconds. The CV over there I showed you just now wouldn't have shown that this person is like this, with good soft skills, communication skills, how to present themselves. Although it is not needed, because usually digital marketing work is a bit more like back end. You don't really have face clients one, but I would like someone like this who are able to carry themselves well as well. So a good 30, if you are someone who is very good at talking, presenting, a good video cover letter like this, don't have to overthink it. Yeah. It's very good at letting your personality shine through a blunt piece of paper, So let me show you what are the good tips on how to make a video cover letter very simply like that, but also very effectively. You want to keep it short, keep it within 30 seconds, because a long-winded one is going to make the viewer lose interest. An elevator pitch should be 30 seconds or less. To script or not to script, this is a very big thing. Yeah, we had the point forms written out just now, right? So do we script it? I would say my personal preference is no, because you'll be too caught up in reading word for word. You can just have a few bullet points to highlight what is important. And if you can avoid it, don't read it on your screen. You see now, if I want to record a video cover letter on my laptop right now, I should be talking to it like this, where I'm looking in the camera directly. You can see that I'm kind of looking at you, right? But if I'm reading the slides right now, you can see that my eyes is wandering. So it's not very nice, where someone is like, video cover letter is supposed to show that someone is talking to you, but if you see your eyes darting like that, it's very obvious that you are reading. And a few pauses and arms will definitely not cost you. It's natural. That's how people talk as well, right? So don't lose confidence, like saying that you're not right in getting a video cover letter, even if you didn't get it right the first few tries. I'm very bad at recording things, recording myself talking, so let me tell you, my video cover letter, I took like 27 tries to get the one that I really, really like. At the very start, I read the point forms. I make sure my delivery is okay. And as I am repeating that, I keep practicing how do I say it wrong a lot of times when looking at the camera, but in the end, take 27, I got it right to where I want it to be. I wish I can show you, but I kind of lost that already. But it's very natural, like you're not going to get it right the first time. If you can get it right in the first few times, great, but just remember, I took 27 tries to get it to the way I want it to. And really, along the way, you keep repeating, you might even find a better way to present it, more comfortably. So don't worry about it. Yeah, it's very important, especially for the ones who are very not comfortable talking in front of video, an audience, for example, you have some fright in being recorded. This is a very good way to harden yourself, right? So all good, so far following. Now, what I want to show you right now is an insight on what are the people who are working now or looking for a job now, is experiencing now, right? So we did a survey this year, which this is the demographic of the people who answered the survey. Majority of them are Gen Y people, 25 to 40 years old. Secondly, there's also a good number of people who are 18 to 24 years old, possibly still in university and such. Work experience is pretty well-rounded, with a majority being people who have worked 1 to 3 years. But a majority of them are people who either just completed internship or still a fresh graduate or just started working, right? And educational qualifications, most of them are people who have degrees already or is currently pursuing one here. And this is the one that I want to highlight to you. That is quite important. 56 of the respondents are working in the same field as their studies, while 44% are not. Although not the majority, 44% of the people who are not working in the same field as what they are studying is quite a large number. And I want to, basically what I'm showing you this is because I want you to know that it's perfectly okay if you're thinking of switching to doing something else. I have someone who studies civil engineering who is doing digital marketing in my team right now, and she is excellent. I have another person, psychology graduate, who is also doing digital marketing. Actually, the one that you saw just now in the video cover letter. I have someone who is a legal graduate doing brand marketing. It's very, very normal. Don't freak out about it. If you're thinking like, I studied 4 years and then I'm doing something else, is it a mistake? It's a mistake if you're doing something that you don't like. Let me tell you that, that's definitely a mistake. But whatever else you're doing, if you like your job, it's very easy to excel because you would probably be happy to do it, and if you like it, you're probably good at it, right? You won't find it to be a chore. Now, okay, going a bit more numbers here. Just to share with you, how has the remote working experience been like? This is nothing actionable that you can take, but just FYI on how it's like, how the market is like this year. So 75% of the people practice remote working, 25% of them did not. Some companies, some industries do not allow that, unfortunately. Before MCO, meaning before the pandemic even happened, 29% of the people mentioned that working from home was introduced before MCO, while 71% mentioned that remote working was introduced after MCO. But even after the government SOPs were relaxed, this was, remember, during like I think Q2 of this year, where things started to look a bit more okay, right? 73% of them actually continued remote working, even though they can go back to office to do so already, while 27 did not. So this is a very good indication that a lot of companies are able to cope with operating through remote working, even though government SOPs allow them to go back to the office to do so. Especially the more modern, younger companies. So expect this to be the norm next time. Yeah, I've actually known a few employers who basically sold their office off to continue remote working even after the pandemic has ended, because they found like a system to do so. So it's getting a bit more common, but I will tell you not every company will do so. So for those of you who are happy working in an office one, don't worry about it, you know. But for a company like mine, it was introduced before MCO. They're not particularly strict on where you work as long as you deliver your work. So when SOPs were relaxed, we all can go back to the office. I kind of like did like a mix, you know, 2 days in office, 3 days work from home and such. You might find hybrids like that. Now this is also a very important thing. I'll circle back to this point later. We asked respondents how the management handled uncertainties of the economy, as well as how long they saw themselves staying on in the future within the company. If the management handled the uncertainties of the economy that time, now also positively, most of them fortunately responded quite positively, 63%. 12% were like didn't notice any change. You know, maybe nothing, they weren't affected or what. I'm not entirely sure, but it's a small number here. And 25% mentioned that the company handled it quite negatively. So this is directly parallel to how long employees saw themselves staying on within the future of the company. Those who responded quite positively, right? You can see that more people were willing to stay more than 5 years, and less people were willing to leave within 1 year. So this is so important because I want to let you know that you must find a company that you really believe in. Not every job is the same. You want to be a marketer, that almost every company has like a marketing team, but instead of just being loyal to like a famous company's name, or like, oh, you glorify one certain startup because your friends say it's very good, I want you to actually vet the company thoroughly. I'll teach you a bit more about that later. But to continue showing you a bit more on the insights, pre-MCO, these were the things that people valued, and post-MCO, these were the things that people valued. It's still the same thing among the list of 10 items here. We didn't show it here, but the top 6 is still what people value. But of course, people now value more about company benefits, job security. Company culture took a little bit of a dive here, but it is still important. It's still in top 5, right? And when we ask further, those people who are 25 to 56 years old, I know it's a big gap, but we noticed that their top 3 factors changed in what they value. You know, salary is still quite important to them. Before that, they care a lot about career growth, but now they care a lot about company benefits and job security. I think people are just in survival mode right now, but you're not everybody. Everybody has their own individual preferences. I'm just showing you generally what people value here. Yes, so over here, so benefits employees look for in a company. Before MCO, people care a lot about casual work attire, high number of annual leaves, and remote work. Now, during or after before that MCO, post MCO, earlier this year, people care more about remote working. You know, for some reason, people still care about travel allowance. I don't know why. I guess they still have to travel. But casual work attire, of course, dropped already because remote working basically, you can wear stuff like this already, right? Also, high number of annual leaves also dropped. People actually prefer to work remotely instead of, having high number of annual leaves. Maybe people finally see that how convenient it is already. So what I'm telling you is, you might have to expect that companies will adopt what do you call it? This kind of practice further. And I think I'm bombing you too much with data here. But what I want to show you is also this. A lot of industries were affected in different ways during COVID-19. Okay, we asked our respondents if they look for jobs in different fields. 69 of them said yes. 31% of them said no. So among those who look for jobs in different fields, a majority of them said that they wanted to try something new, while also 31% of them said they were unable to find a job within the same field. So here are the 10 most popular fields of jobs that they applied to now. customer service, operations, and admin, and you can read all of them here. And why am I showing you this? It's because these people are from other backgrounds, and they are, they graduated from different backgrounds. They graduate from like, architecture or whatever, and they are applying for jobs like this temporarily, or perhaps they wanted to try something new. A majority actually wanted to try something new. They studied something, they didn't really like it, or they were doing something already, they didn't really like it, they wanted to try something new. And these are the things that they tried the most. So I'm telling you this because I want you to feel no shame. Like I said, if you have just studied, you want to try something different, absolutely do it. If you just studied, you don't want to try something different, but you cannot find a job or an internship for that right now, I would advise you to not sit there and wait for the opportunity for what you want to come, because who knows when will that be. Right? Unfortunately, I tell you quite seriously like this. I would say take up internships at other jobs that you can teach you soft skills. For example, customer service. For example, human resources. Or if you want more, I guess it's soft skill as well, like people skill to handle projects, right? If you are, for example, a software developer, you cannot find an internship right now, for whatever reason, you can take on project management. If you're someone in sales, you can take on project management. Who knows? Next time you'll be a project manager. Maybe you like what you're doing. If not, you have acquired the experience of someone working in the project management field a little bit to a certain extent, that you can add value to your next job. I want you to see it like this. These are all good jobs that can train your soft skill very nicely. And remember what I said, people with higher soft skill usually gets promoted over, even if you're not so good technically, over the other person who is better at you with hard skills, technical skills, right? So you definitely should not just, let this opportunity of these jobs go. They're hiring an internship, take it. Usually it's just what, 2-3 months only, very good time, low commitment for you to learn things. So I have about like 10 minutes left, I believe. Let me show you right now, how do you know if a company aligns with what you value? Not for the purpose of making sure you join the right company or making good decisions, and also for the purpose of you going to an interview, because if you're just reading a company's description, what do you call it, in the job page that they have posted their job for you to apply for, right? It's not going to be enough. Not enough. You have to know their major achievements. Who are the leaders in the company, the employees there, the company culture, what is the unique selling point of their business, and also the competitors. The competitor, not just know by name, you must also know the competitors, major achievements, leaders, employees, company culture, unique selling point, and such. So you get the point, right? If you're looking to join Shopee, don't just know Shopee, all this, you must know Lazada's, all these other factors here as well. Knowing the company description is nothing. Everybody is reading the company description. And I can tell you a majority of people that are applying to jobs blindly, just reading the company description. So if you know all this, you have an advantage. Let me show you why is it good for you first. This is something called the 7 pillars of employer branding that we use in Hiredly. Basically, it is to say that every employer, when they tell you, when they want to attract you to their company, they would follow a few pillars here. Not all, but a few pillars here. For example, a very simple example is a insurance company would talk a lot about prestigiousness and wealth, right? Why their product is so good. The company has been here for so long, how much awards they win. And if you join the company, you will be able to own your own BMW and all that stuff. This is an example that everybody knows. It's prestige and wealth, right? You can read out. You can like take a picture here, take a screenshot here if you like. I won't have time to go through all of it, unfortunately. But I'm telling you, if you read all this, you can basically treat it like a checkbox. I don't care about entrepreneurism. I care about altruism. I care about progressive culture and such like that, right? You'll be able to tell properly what company you would likely resonate with you, that when you join, you won't feel you likely won't feel regretful, because the company shares the same value as what you value. Okay. Just to let you know, what I value is entrepreneurism, progressive culture, career growth, and social connection at this point of my life right now. So you can guess it, like, insurance company doesn't interest me. Okay. If someone who cares this too, my company wouldn't interest them, vice versa and such like that, right? I know 4 is a bit greedy, but that's what it is, right? So to give you an example, listen to this. This is Procter and Gamble. You're familiar with them. You know them by name, but you don't really know how the company is like. Let me show you a short clip. I hope you can hear the audio.
Well, PNGs have a lot of fun while at work. We have annual national convention where everyone in the office goes out for a 2-day retreat. We have a lot of functional offsites where we get to go on food hunts, play laser tag, and we even take drum lessons together as a team. We hired a drum instructor, or a bunch of them to come and teach us. It's a traditional drum, so they teach you how to play drums as a team and in sync. And by the end of the 2-hour session, you should be able.
Okay. You've seen quite a few seconds of that already. I didn't explain this to you, but are you able to guess which pillar? It might be very hard for you because I didn't go through. So if I don't see answer in like 3-5 seconds, okay. Zheng Feng, you're very good. Yes, social connection is what this company has displayed in that short snippet. Of course, there is more, but you see how powerful this is. Let's say when you are deciding what pillars attract you the most, right? You check social connection. Procter and Gamble is probably in your list already, just from that few seconds of what they say. I'm telling you this because I hope you're not like me. But when I graduated, I only wanted to join big companies, Oracle or whatever. I didn't even know about all this like company culture and such. I thought like all big companies are more or less the same. I just want to join a popular branded name company, or some people are like, I just want to join like a young startup because startups are cool and such. But this is how powerful this is. Another example, if I may show you.
Because I wanted to be in the management team to know how a business actually is run in a huge corporate company, as well as to know more a little bit about how profit and loss is generated, how marketing strategies is done in the automotive industry. The experience in Tanchong for the past 2 years of the management associate program was great, and now that I have been promoted to the assistant sales manager, my responsibility are even greater. Besides that, I am also working with a group of leaders which are very aggressive and hungers for success. And
okay, sorry, I had to cut him off. A bit rude, but what do you get from that? Come on, same thing, 3 to 5 seconds. Anybody can spot what did? Yes, Shakir, career growth. Anything else? There was actually quite a number of the progressive culture. Come on. Okay. All right. So actually, prestige is there. Prestige is there, Shakir. Prestige, whatever you spotted there is there. And if you're someone that values these 3, what people say in the comment section, right? It's actually, if you hear more, it's actually if you watch the whole video and you know more about Essential Motors, they usually talk more about prestige, career growth, and wealth. These 3 items. So if these 3 checks your boxes, right? That is a company good for you. Just as an example. Now you see, like, if you were like me last time, I like, okay, Tanchong is pretty big, good name. Procter & Gamble also pretty big, good name. They're both big companies. I can join either. You can see how big of a mistake I would have made, if none of I probably would fare better in Procter & Gamble, since social connection is something that I value. But beyond all this video, I want you to know that you can also learn more about the company, using that 7 pillars of employer branding there, through the company's LinkedIn or social media accounts or whatever kind of things that they put out to attract candidates to apply to them. All right. So as an example, I'll use Shopee again because we're all familiar with the example. If you go search Shopee on LinkedIn, you have so much information readily available for you here. So let's say, okay, you see that, okay, there is an affiliated page here, C, that's their parent company, I assume, and they are affiliated with all these other companies, AirPay, C Money, and if you read more Garena as well, good to know. What does that play later? We don't know yet. But we look at their post now. What is Shopee posting? Shopee literally gives like a cheat sheet on the type of candidates that they are looking for. They have look at that. They also made a post about Shopee's Learning Academy becoming empathetic leaders workshop where they train their own people. What's going on here? Okay, their parent company is hiring for a management training program. All these other things that you can look at, all this bite-sized information. Of course, you don't look at it as fast as I am doing here. Take your time to read it. Here's another one. They just 1 week ago, they have a mega milestone for 1 million followers on Shopee. Okay, if I'm going to read more about it, you can take your own time to read more about it. But let's say if I'm joining Shopee, right, I have all this information up my sleeve right now to bring up as a point of conversation, So you can even dig up on who are the people working there. Remember I said you need to know their leaders. You need to know, kind of like when you're doing an assignment, you want to research as much as possible, right? Right here, I want to look at their human resource team. I didn't show you here, but you can click inside and see what are the things that they are sharing, what are the stories that they are sharing, the thoughts that they are sharing, right? So as a very simple example, what makes you different from another person? Imagine another person go to an interview at Shopee. Just know Shopee is an e-commerce company. Know their brand description. Their company description and such. When the person go in the interview, hi, good morning, start off tell me about yourself, yada yada. What do you know about the company? Then the person says, I know you are a e-commerce company and yada yada. Just blurting out the company description is not impressive. Everybody knows that. But if you go for an interview with someone at Shopee right now, you can say hi, good morning, nice to meet you. By the way, congratulations on getting 1 million followers on LinkedIn. You likely would be talking for someone HR, right? If you say something like that, it kind of ice break you with the person that's interviewing you already, and you're also sending signal that you have been following the company contemporarily. Or when they ask questions such as, why do you want to join the company? You can talk about your personal goals, why you want to join the company, and all the other answer. And you can also casually slip in, I also see that you invest a lot in your own people, such as you had the workshop there. Or for example, I also saw that it's very admirable that your company during one of the for example Hari Raya or whatever, right? Not only did you give some hampers to your colleagues, to your employees, you also gave some gifts to their family as well, which I think is super admirable because you not only take care of your employees, you take care of your employees' family as well. So these kind of things, it works for a lot of benefits, shows that you are very updated contemporarily, shows that you are you are, of course, be genuine. I'm telling you, be genuine, not just to fake it, because these kind of things that you learn will also show you that, hey, this company takes care of its people. I want to be a part of this company and such. And you can also let the person know that you really appreciate this kind of gesture. So that person as part of the company will also feel good that their good deeds have been noticed, if you will, right? So I'm ending my talk here because I already passed the time already. Thankfully, all the more important things I'm sharing has been covered. But I want to let you know one thing: good quality job seekers who differentiate themselves are usually rewarded. As an example, and I don't mean to compare you like this. You go to a supermarket, for example, where they usually sell milk, right? I know there's almond milk and chocolate milk and all that stuff, but there's also different brands of chocolate milk and almond milk and such. But milk is milk, right? Milk is milk, especially the normal white milk. Milk is milk. How do they differentiate themselves from other people? It's through their packaging. their branding, the message that they communicate through the, to the person that is potentially buying them. If the milk is targeted at someone who wants to buy, who cares a lot about fitness one, for example, they would do their packaging to show someone exercising, for example. They will show like low fat or whatever. And then that means that that product is very relevant to the person who is buying. I know it's a bit of an odd example, but your CV and your personal brand is very much like that. You can be a very, very good candidate, but if you don't do all these things, nobody will know that you are good. If all of the good things that you are is translated to a very boring Microsoft Word CV that, remember, I showed you at the very beginning, you don't have brand yourself, you don't know how to catch a person's attention in 2 seconds, you don't know how to communicate with someone that is potentially hiring you, it's all going to go to waste. So, you're at the last leg of the race, really, if you will. You at least like studied already, you're maybe graduating soon. Something such as personal branding or preparing your CV properly is nothing too hard that you haven't done before, so don't skip out on that. That's all I wanted to you to take away from, right? So thank you, everyone. I hope this has give you a good overview so far, and I'm going to pass it back to the MC, I believe. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brian. And we will now have a short Q&A session for everyone, okay?
Yes.
So first we will be asking from the questions from our registration site first, and then the questions in the chat box, all right?
Okay. Yes. Am I going to read the questions?
Or
do you have something? All right.
So how do we search for market gap, and where do we look for sources that will guide us for our next journey?
How do we search for market gap, and where do we look for sources that will guide us for our next journey? What do you mean by market gap here?
I think it is the which is the trending one, and I mean which is the trending in the market and which is not, how we can overcome the gap, or how can we search for a job that are not in our scope.
Oh, okay, right. So I think this person added on, studying overseas makes me realize that I know little about Malaysia, even when analyzing governance, economy, and people culture. Some overwhelm me. Is there any advice on how to move forward while being flexible with our goal? I think in terms of what people sorry if I'm answering this incorrectly, because I don't really understand the first part of the question. If any of you can help me in the chat also, that would be great, if I'm answering it wrongly. But where do we look for sources that will guide us for our next journey? I think right now there is a lot of people who is helping you how to on your job seeking journey on LinkedIn. A lot of people are doing it for free right now as a part of, they want to build their profile. They I mean, or sometimes out of pure goodwill, right? There are a lot of things that you can learn from them. But when it comes to searching for market gap, I think you can just look at job portals on what are the number of jobs that they are that companies are still hiring for right now. Quite numerous position, even though it's a pandemic. Where some companies are kind of like down, what do you call it, like cutting off on what they are hiring for. Yes, if Amalina, thank you for that. Perhaps understanding how graduates can prepare themselves on finding what are the emerging industries or jobs, or perhaps the answer for market gap varies depending on industries. Okay, so thank you so much for trying to help. Yes, so with this, right, I would say you can actually, I think LinkedIn is a very powerful tool, because let's say if you are interested in venturing into something that you are not very confident in, connect with thought leaders who are on LinkedIn. a lot of them over there, especially I'm unfortunately not one of them, but a lot of them who share their thoughts out there are very helpful people. Who has the luxury, who has a wealth of knowledge that can guide you very thoroughly on the subject that they are very knowledgeable in. For example, there are also groups of a group of digital marketers who you can find the people in if let's say you want to venture in digital marketing. But I would say right now, what are the demand in the market now that we can venture? I would I think I showed you in the slides just now. All those jobs, right, are the jobs that are kind of, you're seeing quite a number of these positions being listed right now, especially in job portals. If you are, yes, customer service at its finest. If you really, really want to know what is the market demand right now, right? Like I said, just look at job portals, especially the ones hosted by the government, because those usually act as an aggregation on where most employers' jobs they post wherever, they will aggregate on their site. For example, I think what's that? My Future Jobs. I think that job portal. It's very easy to spot. I hope that answers your question on what is the market currently looking for. Perhaps if someone can clarify, or the person who answered this, who asked this, can clarify further.
All right, thank you, Mr. Brian. And we're now moving on to the next questions. I will pick it in the Q&A box. I saw interesting questions. How to gain at least 3 years working experience for a fresh graduate? I think he asked these questions because many companies requires that, right?
Yes, and it's ridiculous. I agree. Let me tell you something. These companies usually they copy and paste the job description of other companies without reading properly. And I'm telling you, like if it's that ridiculous for a fresh graduate job, 3 years of experience, yeah, they usually copy from somewhere else without checking it properly. It's not even a joke, right? So if you really want to apply for that position, I would still say go ahead. I don't think anybody is so like I don't think it's a real thing where they want to hire a fresh graduate, but they need 3 years of experience. But it will definitely, so don't care about that. My personal belief is, even though if a company says they want 2 years of experience, I mean a legit one, not a fresh graduate job, right? Let's say you're 2 years in maybe, or you're 1 year in your working career, you are applying for a job that requires 2 years of experience. But if you have a lot of other ways that you can justify why you are relevant to the job, although you have 1 year of experience, right? Usually they would still consider you, employers with proper common sense, I would say, So yes, all these internships, community work, voluntary work can be considered as experience as well, especially your co-curricular activities. Just go for it and apply, if you really, really want to apply for it, of course. I don't know, like I have applied to quite a number of jobs that by job description, when I was just graduated, right? By job description, I will not be qualified, but I still got called in for an interview, and some of them even got offered for, just justify your kind of like your value based on what you think is the most relevant to that job. For example, if you're joining a sales position, you will want to move all your sales experience at the very top of your CV, and your personal summary should say that as well. If you want to join a marketing position, cater it to what makes you a good marketer. Same thing, yeah. But that's the truth. A lot of people just copy and paste.
Yeah, so what I guess is we just polish our skills and broaden our experience and just go for it confidently.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And moving on to the next question. Hi, Mr. Brian. I would like to ask, how can I start planning on what will I do after graduation, after the graduations. Like for example, using, sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Well, okay. We will come back to that questions. Okay. We now look into the Q&A first. Hi, Mr. Brian. I would like to ask, I'll be having my internship in 1 year time. So should I do my research now? Because my worries would be, what if I do my research now, but after 1 year, my research will be outdated?
Well, I think you definitely should do your research now to get a grasp of what you want to pursue. I don't think a company would change that much in 1 year, but it's very important that you start your research now because you need to know what you don't know. You know, when you like, for example, on LinkedIn, I just showed you a very brief way of doing it, but you can really dive in the rabbit hole on learning like this company. You know, you never know where it will take you. For example, I'm looking at Shopee right now. Then I look at Lazada. Then, you know, there are like other similar companies on the right tab, right? Then I suddenly discover another company that I haven't heard about, but seems very interesting as well. And then it goes down the rabbit hole. Then you realize that you might not even have wanted to join all these big name companies, for example, and you want to join some startups. You know, you want, for example, just an example, you started off like with an interest in e-commerce, but you might start to suddenly join a NGO. Or, you know, like starting your research early is never going to be wrong. Like but definitely when it comes nearer to when you want to apply for internship, you will have to update yourself. But you know, I would definitely encourage you to do your research as early as possible. You know, like I said, you may be in a position where you don't even know what you don't know yet. That's a good way. You know, don't be like my previous manager, started researching company 1 week before they have to apply for an internship and didn't make it. You know, didn't even get called for an internship. Deferred the whole semester.
All right, so so we should like research earlier, so not to only know that company but also know what we want.
Yes. If you can, even though let's say your university doesn't allow you to, doesn't need you to take internships. You know, when you're in year 3 or year 2 or whatever, only year 4, right? I would say you can try applying for an internship. Or one thing I realized is studying got so much easier after I took an internship, because whatever you're reading outside, you know, what you're studying is usually very like theoretics, but when you actually apply for an internship, you can experience how a working environment is like. And sometimes when you're writing some whatever, like you know, like in an exam or whatever, you can actually draw from actual experiences from your internship. Who knows, right?
All right, thank you again, Mr. Brian. And we'll move on to the questions on the slide again. Yes. So how can I start planning on what will I do after graduations? For example, using my experience on managing an NGO and experience on real estate industry when they are not in line with my bachelor degree, which is Islamic studies.
How do I plan on what I want to do? For example, using my experience on managing an NGO experience in real when they are not in line with them. Okay, well, the first thing you have to ask yourself, this is a very personal dependent one. So I don't have enough information to advise you too much on this, but if this was me, I will ask myself, did I like working at an NGO? Did I like working at the real estate industry? If you do and you excel at it, right, you can perhaps you know, you don't need to pursue whatever the career path is for someone who is studying that degree, you know. And I think you're on the right track. How do you start planning for what you want to do? Nobody can answer what you want, what you want to do. So since you're in this track area, I would say apply to more internships. If you haven't discovered what you want to do yet. Perhaps apply to one that is very much in line with what your degree offers you to do so you can get a good comparison on a good preview on, is this what I really want to do after I graduate or not. You get what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like nobody can tell you what's good for you. It's what you feel like you belong in. If you don't like NGO, if you don't like you didn't like working in the real estate company that you did, but you like doing a job that is related to your bachelor's degree in Islamic studies, go ahead. At least you tried. I think what you need to do is you need to write down what you are curious in, what kind of jobs you're curious in, so that when you pick your first job or whatever, right, you have no regrets. Like maybe I should have. Let's say, for example, you join real estate industry. As like maybe I should have done some job that is related to what I studied. But if you have tried it and you know that you don't like it, then there is no regrets. There is not so much regret, right?
All right. Hope it answers your questions, guys. Well, the next question is there such thing as an overqualified internship candidate? For example, if there is a fresh graduate, master's or PhD in laws and physics, and the fresh graduate is interested in digital marketing or FMCG, should the graduate apply for an internship or a permanent or contract position?
Okay. So this one is realistically, some companies, for some reason, they do say that you are overqualified. But I think it is because the communication in the CV is not good enough. Like for me, if I am offering a marketing position and then someone who has like 5 years of working experience, and they talk a lot about what is the example that you give, what do you call it? Something completely unrelated, related to science and whatever, right? They have worked quite a number of years already, or all the experiences like that. I would say that this person just simply applied to my job because there is no indication in their CV that shows that they want to apply to this digital marketing internship that I signed up for. So you need to make that clear that for example, I am a law and physics graduate, currently pivoting to digital marketing. I am, of course, you have to show that you have some initiative as well. Like, for example, I am Google AdWords certified, that course is free. Then you need to reel back to your career objective, currently looking to try something new in the digital marketing field. So then I look at this person in the personal summary, it's like, oh, okay, I get where they're coming from. They want to try to do something else. This is what they have done, as to show initiative that they have intention, proper intention, not just intention, but proper effort in carrying out his intention. And I would like to give them a try. That's one thing. But there are some other companies, like realistically, I say I don't know, they're very taboo or what. They see people with quite high level experience applying for something different, then they just simply chunk them. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. There are companies like that. Every company is different. But a sensible, company would have been like the former that I have mentioned. Should the graduate apply for an internship or permanent contract position? It is up to you. I would say, whatever. So if you're interested in digital marketing, right? If you're just interested, you have no qualifications, perhaps a permanent contract position would likely not shortlist you because those are in a way more a serious buy-in. It's a more serious buy-in, right? But if you go for an internship, not only do you say that you are Google AdWords certified by yourself, you actually practice something in that internship, which may lead you to have better experience to show when you are applying for the permanent or contract position. But in any case, I don't treat internship as like I go to the class and learn. You should show some initiative first. before even applying for the internship. Because if you don't, other people are doing it, and unfortunately, companies will see that person as higher value. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, thank you. So we will say employers are seeking for suitable employees. So if we want to change path, we should do some initiatives and take the first step to change our path. So I think that answers your questions. Unfortunately, I don't know your name. It is anonymous. Well, our time is up. So sorry we can't answer all these questions. Thank you all for such passionate questions from you guys. All right. So
yeah,
thank you again for Mr. Brian, and we all get really good insights from you, and we hope we have more communications in the future. I hope.
yeah.
So to conclude, we are now in a different era because of the pandemic. We'll see. Remote working is currently become a new norm, and so we have to know, the core is we have to know what we are interested about, and we should go for it. And when you go for it, there is techniques for your CVs and your resume and your videos. So everybody, we should be well prepared for it and go for it. A big thank you again to Mr. Brian. Well,
Thank you.
building from Mr. Brian's sessions, we are now looking into some new digital roles that are available for graduates due to the digital transformation. So, and that is exactly what we are going to talk about in the next session. Our next session will be a panel session titled Riding the Next Digital Wave, and it will start at 2 p.m. So guys, have a lunch break and feel free to tune in at 2 p.m. All right. If you are not registered yet, you can still register for the session now. And a kind reminder to all of you guys, please come into the session a bit earlier, like 10 minutes earlier, so that we can start on time. All right. I'm Chin. Have a good break, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.